I feel far too young to say this, but this is the 19th year that I am giving a State of the Industry report for songwriters and music publishers. And I am so pleased to be able to stand up here and tell you that in those 19 years, the state of the industry is stronger than it has ever been. I can report that last year, the total revenue for the songwriting and publishing industry was just over $5.6 billion. And that number does not capture some of the CRB money that we are owed retroactively that will eventually get added to that figure. That represents a 19.25% increase year over year. And when you look back over the last 10 years and look at those percentage increases, you can see that we are in an industry today that is more than 2.5 times what it was just 8 years ago. Now, looking at where that income comes from, we can report that performance still represents the dominant form of income at just over 48% of the total revenue. And a congratulations to Mike O'Neill at BMI, Beth Matthews at ASCAP, who are here with us, who both had record fiscal years this past year. And while CSAC and GMR do not report their revenue publicly, I can also share that John Josephson at CSAC and Randy Grimmett at GMR, also both here with us, both had record years this past year. Now, for the first time, performance dropped below 50% of the total revenue, despite the fact that all 4 PROs had record years. And that's because the growth in the other categories has been so significant, specifically with regard to synchronization, where much of the work that NMPA has done has created these new revenue streams that we now enjoy today. Now, one of the things that we reported on last year was that the new data that we would get from the Mechanical Licensing Collective would give us an opportunity to share with you much more information about the industry with greater transparency. One of the things that we learned from this data is that because the MLC captures every single mechanical dollar, and because we can measure that against what NMPA gets reported to by our own members, we now know that NMPA represents 96% of the total industry within our membership, which is the highest representation of any industry for any trade association in Washington, D.C. Now, we've had the benefit of looking at the new rate structure in place for now 2 months of reporting from the MLC. We have 2 months of data to compare year over year. And because of our historic settlement in the CRB, we now find ourselves in a position where we are completely in common interest with the digital music companies that are now our partners. And that revenue stream is represented by 3 different things. You have our rate, you have their number of subscribers, and you have the price. If you look at the rate increase chart that represents the new CRB settlement, you know that we are already enjoying the highest rates in history, the highest rates in the world, and they're only going to go up. Next, when you look at subscribers, I can share with you new information today that shows you the number of subscribers by company. This is information that has not before been made public. Some of these companies report on their subscribers, some do not. But this gives you a representation of the subscriber growth that we are experiencing on top of now the higher rate. And we have a very significant announcement tonight that I can report, that when Amazon and Apple raised their subscription prices, not only did they not lose subscribers, they experienced subscriber growth. And that shows you that music continues to be undervalued in the pricing by digital music services. We have a long way to go, but I am hopeful that this new information will be the encouragement that the industry needs to get pricing where it should be. Now, looking at the 2 months of data from 23 compared to just 1 year ago, we are already experiencing more than a 27% increase in the total revenue that comes from streaming because of this combination of the highest rates ever, more subscriber growth, and in some cases, higher prices. Now, you're getting to hear from a lot of rock stars on the stage tonight, but I want you to hear next from one of NMPA's own rock stars, and that's Danielle Aguirre, our General Counsel and EVP.